Alright, what is up? Another day, another problem tayo guys. So, we have another problem regarding buoyancy and flotation in fluid mechanics. So, let's start. Let's first read the problem. Yun ang una nyo laging gagawin. Basahin yung problem din, intindihin siyang mabuti, and what's happening. A board weighing 30 Newton per meter has a cross-sectional area of 0.005 square meters and length of 3.4 meters placed in the tank of oil having specific gravity of 0.85. Assuming the hinge to be frictionless, ito yung hinge daw, compute the specific gravity of the board, then compute the length of the board which is submerged in the coil. And we are also asked to compute the angle theta, which is this one, for equilibrium conditions. So let's start. Paano natin ito sisimulan? Kunin muna natin yung specific gravity ng board. So ano ba yung given natin? May binigay na weight na in terms of weight per length, which is 30 newtons per meter. So paano natin kukunin yung weight? Simply, weight is equal to, kung hindi nyo alam gagawin, try nyo mag-unit analysis. Yun ang pinakamabisa. If you arrive at the right units, with the right units, tama yung sagot mo. Most likely, yeah. Diba, 30 newton meters. For every meter daw, 30 newtons yung bigat. 3.4 meters yan. So, multiply mo lang. So, from here, makaka-cancel out yung meters. Shing! Ayan. Tapos pag pinindot natin yan sa calcu, mga kasama, 30 times 3.4, that is equal to 102 newtons. Or in kilonewtons, that is simply 0.102 kilonewtons. Alright? Now that we know the weight, saan natin kukunin yung specific gravity? Alam natin this formula. The formula for weight in terms of specific gravity is weight is equal to the SG of the object times the gamma of water multiplied by the volume of our object. In this case, yung volume ng wood. Ng board. Yeah. Di simple lang, salpak lang. Ano yung nakuha nating weight? 0.102 kilonewtons. Nawawalang SG, specific gravity, times the specific weight of water. Pag fluid mechanics talagang water lagi yung mga kasalubong mo eh. Yeah. And then the volume natin, anong given? We are given area and the length. So we simply multiply that 2 para makuha natin yung overall or total volume ng board. So area is 0.005 square meters multiplied by our length, which is 3.4 meters. Alright. Ayan. Okay, tapos, yan. Makukuha na natin yung specific gravity. From here, cancel out lahat ng units. Cancel yung kilonewtons. Shing yung kilonewtons natin, as well as itong cubic meters. And from here, makukuha na natin yung specific gravity. Simply, our specific gravity of the board is equal to, let's use 2 decimal places na lang. Approximately 0.61. Yan, pindutin nyo lang sa calcu. 0.102 divide 9.81 divide 0.005 divide 3.4. So, ito na yung una nating sagot for the specific gravity. Tapos, may pinapahanap pa sa ating dalawa. We are also asked to find the length of the board which is submerged in the oil. So, paano yan? Aalamin natin yung haba ng board na nakababad sa oil. Paano magiging atake natin dyan? Alam natin that the formula for buoyant force is equal to the gamma of our fluid and the volume displaced. Diba? The buoyant force, plugging in our values, yung meron tayong values, dito sa ating diagram, nilagay ko dito na x is yung nakasubmerged na length, which is from here papunta dito sa part na yan. Yan yung nakalubog sa oil. And then, itong habang to, syempre 3.4 yung haba ng board natin. So, to get this length from here to here, bawas mo lang yung x, yung nakalubog. So, ano yung fluid natin? May given tayong SG ng oil, 0.85 times 9.81 kilonewtons per cubic meter, gamma ng water, the gamma of our water. And then, ano yung volume displaced? Yung area naman niya, hindi magbabago. So, we can input the area, 0.005 square meters. And yung nawawala nating x, or yung draft in this case, or yung nakalubog na part ng board natin. So, let's just call that x. Tawagin mo na lang siyang x. As you shall. So, pag pinindot mo yan, makukuha mo yung buoyant force first. Buoyant force, tapos may x na variable, which is yung length na nakasubmerge. So, pindutin mo na lang yan to simplify. 0.85 times 9.81 times 0.005, that would be 0.0 lang. 0.0, 2 decimals na lang. 42x. Ang matitira dyang unit is kilonewton per meter. Yeah. Kasi cancel yung square meters, so may matitirang isa sa baba. So, ngayon, kailangan natin hanapin si x. Saan natin nahanapin si x? Anong pwede natin gawin dito, mga kasama? We can take a moment. You shall. Always take some moment para to recharge. Pero in this case, let's take the moment at point O. Nilagay ko na lang dito at point O. So, magmo-moment tayo dyan. Minsan kailangan mag-moment talaga eh. And since this board is uniform, may weight yan. Diba? Na-compute nga natin yung weight kanina, which is 102 newtons or 0.102 kilonewtons. Since uniform yung board natin, the weight acts on the centroid of the board, which is in the middle of the board. So, that would be, nasa gitna siya. So, it acts downwards. Yung ating weight, nag-act siya downwards. Tama ba? Nasa gitna. Nag-act yung weight natin. Sa gitna ng board. That is where the weight is most concentrated. Tapos, yung buoyant force, tandaan nyo, it also acts on the center of the part that is submerged in the fluid. So, kung itong x natin, ito yung x natin, nag-act siya dito, sa gitna. So, pasaan ng buoyant force? Pataas. It acts there, sa gitna din ng x. So, dyan nag-act yung buoyant force natin. Now that we know that, we could, we could take the moment. Pero para mas madali tayo mag-moment mamaya, pakita ko na to sa inyo. Diba, kailangan natin tong length na to kasi perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation as well as this one. Yung length nyan. So, paano po natin makukuha yung length nyan? We will go back sa ating basic trigonometry. Ayan. So, itong habang to, gano'ng kahaba to? This is, di ba, ang weight natin is kalahati. Nag-act siya sa half. Sa center pala ng ating board. So, this could be 3.4 divide 2. Itong habang to. 3.4 over 2. Yan, itong habang yan. Okay? From there. Yeah. Tas ito naman, itong habang to is simply 3.4. Tas bawasan mo ng kalahati ng x. So, ito ay 3.4 Bakit? 3.4 minus kalahati ng x kasi nga nag-a-act din yung ating ito sa centroid or sa gitna nung naka-submerge na length of our board. So, sana nagigets tong part na to. Medyo magulo pero malilinaw din yan mamaya. So, let's take the moment. Let's take a moment. So, taking the moment at point O. At point O. Anong gusto nyo? Clockwise or counterclockwise and positive? Sige. Counterclockwise positive para cute. Counterclockwise positive. Taking the moment at point O, assuming counterclockwise positive, we have W. Tapos, ano yung perpendicular distance niya? We need this. Anong trigonometric function? We need the opposite of the angle and the hypotenuse. So, that would be sine. So, oops, lagay lang natin dito para mas maganda. So, sine of theta is equal to, opposite is this one. Anong tatawag natin? Let's just call this length A. Call this length B. Length A, so sine of theta is equal to the opposite side, which is A, over 3.4 divided 2 is simply, what? 1.7, no? 1.7. 1.7. So, kailangan natin si A. So, that is simply 1.7 times sine theta. Yan. Tapos, since magiging counterclockwise is positive kasi pag pinaikot mo siya papaganon, counterclockwise. So, kaya positive. Tapos, itong buoyant force, clockwise kasi papaganon, that would be negative. Lipat na natin sa kabila para mabilis. Transpose na natin siya agad. So, the buoyant force, which acts on the center of the length submerged, ano namang trigonometric function kailangan natin dyan? Kailangan natin yung length ng B, which is this one, yung blue, as well as the hypotenuse nito, which is 3.4 minus kalahati ng x. So, sine pa rin. Sine of theta is equal to the length B, the opposite side, over 3.4 minus x over 2. 3.4 minus x over 2. So, ang kailangan natin is length B. So, that is simply sine of theta times itong nasa baba. So, 3.4 minus x over 2 times sine of theta. Anong nangyayari? Tinas lang natin ito dito. Yeah. Tas, yung length B yun. That's the equivalent of length B. So, from here, makikita natin that this will cancel out itong sine theta kasi common naman siya. O, di, mas simple na yung equation natin. Kasi meron tayong weight. 0.102 kilonewtons. Tapos may natirang 1.7. Tapos, ang buoyant force natin, ito, kanina yung nakuha natin in terms of yung nawawalang length. That is 0.042 x kilonewton per cubic per meter pala. So, that's our buoyant force. And this one, 3.4 minus x over 2. And as you can see, magka-cancel out yung kilonewtons and we'll be left with the correct or proper unit for the missing value of x, which is yung length na nakasubmerge sa oil. And using your calculator, mga kasama, after taking the moment and then plugging in the necessary values and using trigonometry to solve this properly, we'll arrive with the value for x, and using shift solve or manipulate, you can solve for the value of x. So, x is approximately equal to 1.2 decimals na lang, 1.58. 1.58 meters. So, yan daw yung haba na nakasubmerge dun sa oil in this diagram. Yeah. I hope you guys could follow. Comment kayo pag may mga tanong kayo. Okay. So, ano ba? May tatlo nga pala yung pinapahanap. Compute the angle. Okay. So, to find the angle, madali na lang. Pwede natin gamitin yung habang ito, yung 3.4 minus x, tsaka itong 1.5 meters. Tapos, anong gagamitin nating function? Diba? We could use cosine kasi adjacent side yung 1.5 meters, tapos hypotenuse ito. Yeah, people. Okay, pwede natin gamitin si cosine, diba? Siya, atin ang banatan. Cosine of theta, yung nawawalang theta, adjacent over hypotenuse ang cosine, diba? So, what is our adjacent side? 1.5 over 3.4 minus x. Nakuha na natin si x. 1.5 over 3.4 minus x. Ano yung x natin nakuha? Ito, 1.58. And from here, theta is equal to, arc cosine mo lang yan, arc cosine ng 1.5 over 3.4 minus 1.5. 1.58 minus 1.58. Yeah. Okay. And plugging this to your calculator, pindot. Pag engineering, mahilig talaga pumindot eh. Okay, our cosine ng 1.5 over 3.4 minus 1.58. Ang lalabas na value, mga kazama, is 2 decimals na lang ulit. That is 34.49 degrees Celsius. Degrees. Naging temperature. Ayan. Nakuha na natin yung nawawalang missing angle for equilibrium. Alright, so that is all for this problem. Nahanap natin yung specific gravity ng ating board. Then, using trigonometry and buoyancy, we found the length submerged sa oil. And then, we've also found the angle theta for equilibrium. So, that is all for this problem. Thank you so much. Alright.